Good morning, everyone. So good to have you with us on today's Boost. I want to get straight into it, talking about Mark 4, verses 39. It's the scripture when Jesus is sleeping in the boat in the middle of a great storm. And so what happened was, here's the disciples in the middle of a storm, the waves are crashing on the boat, and the disciples they're seeing all the chaos around them, and unfortunately it got inside of them, and then they started to freak out and panic, and they got into a state of frenzy. And then what happened was, they went to Jesus and they said, "Lord, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus gets up, he sees that his disciples are startled and rattled and in a panic state, and then he just rebukes the wind, saying, "Peace, be still," and everything was calm. And I thought about this, and it relates to us what we're talking about today, because life is noisy and life is chaotic all around us, and there's storms all around us. And then what happens is, it tries to get inside of us. The chaos gets inside. And when it does get inside, we enter into a state of frenzy. And when we're in a state of frenzy, we are behaving erratic. We do things we shouldn't do. Our inhibitions go. We're just not the people we should be. We're not the best version of ourselves when we're in a state of frenzy. We're not the best parents we should be in a state of frenzy. We make the wrong choices when we're in a state of frenzy. And finally, we don't treat people the way they should be treated when we're in that state. And so the message here today is quite important, because when we're in that place, we have to realize we're not in the perfection we were created in. And therefore, we have to get back to peace. You know, quite recently in our country, we had that crazy looting stuff that happened in KZN in Gauteng. And that's exactly what frenzy looks like on the outside. There's no inhibition, there's chaos, everything's going crazy. And sometimes we are faced with that in our lives inside. And the only way we really deal with that is to do what Jesus did here. What did he do? He stood up, he saw, okay, what's causing the panic? What's causing the frenzy? He took a step back, and then he said, "Peace, be still." He spoke to the situation. See, Jesus separated himself from the chaos, from the frenzy. And that's what we need to do today. Because maybe you're having financial difficulties or family problems, whatever it is, those are all storms on the outside. And that's not a problem in itself, but where it becomes very dangerous is when that storm gets inside of you and causes a frenzy. And so like Jesus today, I want to talk to whoever's out there, whatever you're going through, that you have to separate yourself from the storm, from the chaos, from the frenzy. You are not the frenzy. Take a step back, look at it and say, what's causing this? And then speak to it and say, "Peace, be still. Enough of this, be still." And when peace is restored to us, we are the best versions of ourselves. Remember during the looting, we couldn't wait for peace to be restored, for order to be restored. And that's kind of like what happens in life when we struggle. You want the order to come back. And so today, wherever you're going through, identify what's causing the frenzy, what's causing the chaos and the noise. Speak to it, say, "Enough of this. Peace, be still."